Hello guys, welcome to this fourth video of this CSS tutorial series. And in this video, we'll be talking about color properties and background color property in CSS3. All right, let's get right into the course. So this was where we met at the last section of this course. All right, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be creating a file based on the name of what we are learning. So call it color, let's say color dot html html. I love um I love using external style sheets for all my program, but for this particular one we are going to be using, still going to be using external style sheets, but uh together with embedded style sheet. All right, so this color.html, I'm just going to say shift exclamation mark enter, and then I get the boilerplate of the structure. So uh, I'm just going to cancel out from this former server, and then we run this current HTML file. So go live again, and then we see it change on the page. So I'm just going to give uh, let's say a div element, and then h1, say hello Mike. Now in CSS color, let me just spin and bring this up on the board for us to see. So in CSS, when we talk about color, color applies to the text. Color property applies to the HTML text. So that is what this property does. So we need to say, first of all, when using embedded, you have to use the tag style inside the head of the HTML. So we use a selector. This is the selector h1, and we say h1 curly bracket open and close, and then we use the color property called color, then colon to separate the property and the value. So what value do you want to give? You can say red, and then we see on the screen that hello Mike is red. So this is a property, while this is a value separated with a colon sign. All right, but this CSS color property has three major value. CSS color property, color has three major values, and one of the value is called name, and the other is called X, while the last one is called RGB or RGBA. So this first one that we are using right here is called a name value, because we are just writing the name of the value. If it is red, we spell it out as red. Now we can say this is green, and then we have our stuff to be green. So this is called name value. But what about exa value? The exa value contains 6-digit code. For instance, instead of me to use name, I can say FF00000. It is up to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we can say 0000, but it must start with a hash symbol. So this will give us red. So this is called the exa value. exa value. So remember, we have the color, we have the color which is we can say green. So this is the first one, and this is the second one. So this is the exa. Now, before I go further, let me just quickly tell you about comment. We can in CSS you can comment. It's different from how we comment in HTML. If you want to write a comment in CSS, we use forward slash asterisk, then asterisk again, then asterisk again, then forward slash. So right in here, we can write our comments in CSS as far as you are within these tags, these type tags. All right, so I'm just going to comment on this. Just highlight it and control forward slash is going to just comment it on it automatically. And then we have this is the exa value. Then what about the RGB value? But before I move to the RGB value, the first two digits on the exa code stands for red, while the second two digits of the exa code stands for green, while the last two digits of the exa code stands for blue. It can be 3, we can have it to be 3 or 6. Either it is 3 or it is 6. It cannot be 4, it cannot be 5, it cannot be 7. It's either it is 3 or it is 6. For instance, I can decide to remove one of these and two of the zeros. We still get the same value. So what about the RGB? RGB stands for red, green, and blue. So this RGB here stands for red, green, and blue. While this stands for red, green, blue, then alpha. This alpha is to set the transparency of the color. If you want it to be translucent, opaque, or transparent. So that is the job of this A here. So we are just going to look at the alpha. How do we write the alpha? The RGB, I mean to say. So we can have another one. Let's say H3 and say my RGB. So we can get that. Let's say H3, and then we can say color using the color property because we want to apply color to the text of H3. So we can say RGB is kind of the bracket open, bracket close. So it takes in 3 parameters or 3 placement inside. So we can, let's say 255 comma 0 comma 0. So you see this give us red as well. Now this first parameter is for red, while the second one is green, while this third one is blue. So what these things mean that you say give me 255 of red, give me 0 of green, give me 0 of blue. That means I don't need I need 0 of blue and green, but I need more of red. We can decide to make here 10. Okay, we need 10 of of um green, or let's say we need 100 of green. Watch out how this thing will change. Now you can see the color has changed because we are mixing green and then reds together, but 100 of green but 255 of red. Why at this part we are not taking any of the blue color at all? In the exact code we are only taking uh, red, while the other ones we are saying 0. So that's why we have it to be just red. So for the background color, for the background color is still the same thing. Every HTML element has a background because every HTML element is a box on its own. So please note that every HTML element is a box and every boxes has a background. So in this H3, we can say background color. You can see background hyphen color colon the value. The background color also takes in 3 types of value, which is the naming value, the exact code value, or the RGB value. So we can say the background color should be green, and if you look at it, it is green on the page. The H1 we can set, mind you, when writing CSS rule, each property and value is called a statement. So you must separate each property and value with a semicolon before writing the next rule. Before writing the next rule, you must separate each rule with semicolon. So we can give this one a background color of blue, and you can see that it's having a background color of blue. So this is how you can add background to your HTML element, and you can add color to your HTML element text. All right, guys, see you in the next video.